Welcome to APSCo's Business Transformation Zone. I'm Steve Carter. I'm one of the co-founders of the Satori Partnership. I'm really delighted to be presenting this video to you today, hopefully with some insights built from conversations myself and um, industry-renowned CTO Mike Chapman compiled a little while ago, talking about how to navigate and strategically guide you through the AI adoption process in the world of recruitment. So hopefully there's some key points in here you'll find interesting and things that will help you along the way in your inevitable AI journey. So um, really, the first thing I wanted to say is that pretty much I can't have a meeting anymore without AI being the headline. It actually doesn't even matter what the meeting's about. The meeting always ends up being AI. And in talking to Mike, he was sharing with me that there are over 700 point solutions already available in the recruitment space globally, um, which makes the path forward really unclear for everybody about how you navigate. And everybody's getting bombarded with all the solutions that are going to save the world on AI. And so there's a reality that the tech industries, the AI industry, see our market as very automatable and they see AI as being highly applicable. But where do you start? What do you get and how do you do it? And hopefully we can help you with some of that today. So let's just start for those that are not that familiar with AI in its various forms. Um, and not all AI is the same, is the first thing to say. Um, and in fact, sometimes people get confused between RPA or robotic process automation and AI. Now, RPA is really familiar. It automates repetitive rules-based tasks in your agency. So for example, the most common RPA in most of your business is email automation, where you're triggering emails to go out to candidates and clients for various reasons. But that's an automation process. It's not necessarily AI. Most people in your business are very familiar with generative AI, which is using a tool like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini to actually do things in the business like create a job description or write an advertisement or summarize the CV on a candidate. But it is being prompted by the individual and therefore generating the content. And really where the big transformation comes in an agency is about agentic AI, the autonomous worker. It's your new team member who isn't human, but in fact is doing the work previously done by people in your business that allows them to move on to much more relationship tasks. And your AI team member starts getting complete complex tasks underway and achieved by following instruction and then learning itself and improving over time. So, for example, find me a candidate or find me information about companies in this particular location. And so, not all AI is the same. And when you've got 700 solutions being pushed to you every day, you need to understand what sort of problem you're trying to solve. So, the industry's moving towards true autonomy. And that really is about agentic AI. And it really comes in a number of levels to increase autonomy. So at the moment, one of the really um, practical applications of AI is automated search. So using tools that will allow you to go out there and identify candidates from external data and actually looking at how you ingest those people back into the system. And then you can use it to find purpose-based processes like find me that candidate. And the AI will start to do that automatically and learn. It will also be able to custom match against individual job descriptions. Um, it will also be able to predict candidates that are likely to work in those industries. Or it can also look at the behaviors of clients and it can start to look at how they hire in the past and start to make the process more synchronized. Um, there's the generative AI around write me an email, um, write me a response, organize the CV. And again, that's quite common, but in fact, increasingly so, the people will be less dependent on doing that themselves and more reliant on the AI, or the AI will just get it done. Um, and again, a goal orientated process for AI in the future is I've got a job, go and fill it. And I think in some of the professional areas of recruitment, it is highly likely the clients will place significant value on just having the process automated by AI and completed because they believe they don't place the value on the recruitment process for a particular role. They just need the job filling. And I think AI is going to be incredibly good at doing that. It's going to do it in a very cost effective way. So there are various levels of moving towards autonomy. So what's the benefit? What's the prize? And early indications are that recruiters themselves, by using AI in a tangible way and deploying it strategically, are actually saving, in many cases, more than a day a week. Because when you break down the tasks that recruiters are involved in, they spend a lot of time staring at screens, a lot of time interpreting information. Well, the AI is going to do that twice as fast, or more than twice as fast, and it's going to do it simultaneously. And again, some AI platforms are able to make thousands of outbound calls or handle thousands of inbound calls simultaneously. And therefore, strategic adopters of AI are going to start pulling away from the majority of agencies because they'll lower their cost of delivery, they will increase the velocity they can operate at, and they will start to produce more profit. They'll be able to operate 24/7, and they'll start to be able to expand into new markets where they couldn't previously operate due to language or other restrictions. And the AI is going to allow people and companies to do that more readily. What about productivity? So, again, the questions we always ask are, if I spend the money, what is the return on investment? And again, early indications and early conservative indications are that a recruiter's productivity is going to increase around about 20%. Although even since we produced this piece of research, I've seen productivity measures much, much higher than that, because ultimately recruiters are able to do what they used to do in 5 days in less time. But those that are actually committed to the process and are really becoming much more proficient with working alongside a digital colleague are finding much higher uplifts in their individual productivity. And the good news for agency owners, directors, founders, and leaders is they're able to produce more fees for a very similar level of investment in salary than they were previously. And that really, most of that drops directly to the bottom line. Now, data is your only durable advantage. It's the bedrock to what you do. And again, Mike and I have had many conversations about this, but you cannot build an AI-driven organization on poor data. End of. You need to get your data sorted out. Now, some of the AI tools out there are searching what they say is over 1 billion candidate profiles around the world for jobs. And there's a lot of publicly available data. But the internal data you have, the AI will not be able to identify relevant matches to candidates. It won't be able to predict where you should focus your marketing effort, your business development effort. It won't tell you where the most likely return on investment comes unless that data is current and that data is maintained and looked after. And so the AI journey towards becoming a very AI-enabled business and all the benefits you're going to get from that will only be as good as your data. So if one of the takeaways from this session is simply to get your data in order, you put yourself in the front row to actually be successful going forward. But without that sort of data, it is going to be a long road and it's going to be very, very difficult and very expensive. So one of the misnomers or misconceptions that we see, or the misexecution we see of AI, is where people layer on AI. And they layer AI tools on top of existing processes and infrastructure that are highly ineffective. And this was always the case with technology, that if you automate a bad process, then it won't help you. Well, it's even more exaggerated with AI, because if you layer AI technology and tools on top of bad processes and infrastructure, you won't get the level of return you expect to. And in fact, what you will do is see diminished user engagement, and you will see consultants begin to mistrust the AI and ultimately it becomes counterproductive. The intelligent way to play here is to look at how do you transform your business by reorganizing it, to look at strategic adoption and analyze your workflows and ask, where does AI belong? What problems is it solving? And how would that be beneficial to us going forward? So you shouldn't have highly skilled people doing menial tasks. They should be doing highly skilled, high touch tasks where your clients and candidates place considerably more value. And that is where you generate more productivity. So as you go on your AI adoption journey, please don't go out there and be mesmerized by the shiny toys that are out there that everybody's selling. Understand your workflows, understand your processes, and understand what problem you're trying to solve before you engage in implementing any level of AI. Like any other technology, if you just simply automate or put AI on top of a bad process, it remains bad. And it might gloss over it for a while, but it will soon become an expensive, um, undermining factor in your business. So, how do you move forward? And there's a number of ways to move forward because strategic adoption requires some redesign of your operating model. And this makes sense when you think about the way recruitment agencies have been built on volume of outbound activity, you know, sending CVs to candidates in the hope that they engage. And those pathways really, AI is not going to be doing it that way. You need to think about how do you redesign your operating model and analyze every task in the workflow to make sure the AI has maximum impact. So AI only tasks are those that can be fully automated. And think about the need, for example, managing ad response. Is it in your best interest to have a highly skilled individual actually managing 200 or 300 ad responses, where you could have the AI cut down that task to almost zero time invested by an individual by managing it and let that person then apply their experienced eye on those CVs in order to decide who is the most relevant or the best? There are some AI tasks that are going to be hybrid, where it's a combination of human judgment augmented by AI. And how do you apply that in your business? And what are those tasks? And again, some of the tasks that perhaps you have had previously in-house, you can look at actually doing things like offshoring them. So not even using AI, but reorganizing your operating model so it is leaner. And in other videos in this series, we explore the need to be a leaner operating model, simply because there is downward pressure on price. Your clients are also having AI adoption processes underway, and therefore they'll also be able to source candidates. They'll be able to process them at a lower price point, and therefore they expect you to be able to deliver at a lower price point. So therefore you must become more efficient, and that's going to require a redesign because, again, as we explore in one of the other videos of this series, agencies are systemically inefficient when it comes to cost and productivity. And you have to look at your tech stack. You have to look at bolt-on point solutions that are best in class. So when you look at tools like Sourcewell or Daxtra or telephony solutions like Device that are enabling your AI, they can bolt on top of your CRM or ATS, and they can be highly effective if integrated properly. But you can create data silos. And similarly, you can look at integrated AI platforms that move away from traditional CRM ATS solutions, solutions like Loxo and HireEasy that have got AI native functionality built throughout them. And that offers you a unified end-to-end system. However, often moving systems is not only expensive, it's fraught with risk about how do you maintain performance during that transition, and they become very large projects. And so if you are going to move to a more integrated AI platform, it becomes a lot about your ability to manage change and manage projects. So think about it long and hard before you do that. So how do you do this? What are the steps? Well, the first steps start with the data. Before you evaluate any tool, be ruthless with your data. Get it right, get it to a much higher quality. If you don't do that, you can't really get into the AI game. It just isn't going to happen for you. Two, don't build it yourself. The market evolves on a weekly basis, daily basis, and focus on your core business and don't become a software developer. Most agencies don't have the luxury of large technical departments or IT departments, but if you do, don't distract them from the core tasks they're meant to be performing. I know there are people out there that say you can build agents by yourself. There is no shortage of agents, agentic AI agents, that is, that you can buy on the market to do an amazing job. Someone who knows how to do that has already done it. So don't start doing DIY when it comes to AI. You will pay the price in the long run. And then seek an experienced partner, someone who's seen the battle scars, someone's got a clear view on the market that can help you to identify tools and help you avoid the bright, shiny things that everybody says they are. I know well enough that all the tools I look at with AI, there's no perfect solution. So don't spend your time and money investing in something you need to unravel in the future, and seek guidance. And again, APSCo is a great place to start for that, because APSCo has a number of experts available to you through your membership, not just here in the Business Transformation Zone, but through Advisor Link and through trusted partner networks. So please check in with APSCo. So look, once again, thank you for joining me in the Business Transformation Zone. APSCo's investment in this, I think, is truly aligned to where the market is right now and where the market is heading. And hopefully you can appreciate that actually this is new for a lot of people, including myself. And it's about how do we adapt best. And I think being part of a community like APSCo will certainly help you on that journey. And I hope you found this video useful, informative, hopefully slightly challenging as you embark on your journey towards an AI-enabled business, and one that's future-proofed and the part of the future of the industry. Thanks for listening.